and welcome to Sweeten Your Day. Today we're taking you behind the scenes of an incredible part of Louisiana's agriculture industry, the Louisiana Sugar Refining facility in Gramercy, here in St. James Parish.
LSR, Louisiana Sugar Refining, is one of America's premier refineries processing raw sugar into the white refined sugar that ends up on kitchen tables, bakery, and food manufacturers across the United States. The refinery is a major investment in the sugarcane industry and a vital economic force in our community.
So let's start where the sugar comes from. Louisiana sugarcane grows across 25 parishes, and more than 500 growers produce the cane that fuels our industry.
That cane is harvested and taken to raw sugar mills, 8 of which are a part of a cooperative that supplies LSR. These include familiar names like Alma Plantation, Cajun Sugar, Cora, Texas, St. Mary, Lula Westfield, and LaFouche Sugars.
As we showed you in our last episode, at the mills, the sugarcane is crushed to extract juice. The juice is boiled and crystallized into raw sugar. The raw sugar still contains molasses and has a golden color. It is what gets shipped to refineries like LSR for final processing.
Once the raw sugar arrives at LSR in Gramercy, the real magic happens. LSR Refinery works around the clock 24/7 to transform raw sugar into the clean white sugar we all know and recognize.
Here's how it works, step by step. Melting and cleaning. First, raw sugar crystals are remelted and mixed with syrup to wash away the molasses and impurities surrounding the crystals. This step helps purify the sugar even more.
The next step is purification and filtration. Then color and remaining impurities are removed while clarifying agents and filtration systems clean the syrup before it's turned back into crystals. Next step is crystallization. The purified sugar is cooled so sugar crystals reform with a high purity and consistency, the kind you see on your kitchen shelf.
And the next step is drying and packaging. Finally, the refined sugar is dried and packaged for distribution, for both bulk shipments to businesses and retail packaging for consumers.
One of the remarkable things about LSR is that the sugar they refine comes from cane grown within 110 miles of the refinery, keeping it local. That helps support regional farmers and reduces transportation impacts.
In total, the refinery processes more than 1 million tons of raw sugar each year, producing granulated sugar, liquid sucrose, and molasses for both food service and industrial customers.
LSR isn't just about sugar, it's about the people. The facility supports hundreds of local jobs and contributes significantly to the community of St. James Parish and the broader Louisiana sugarcane industry.
And when you sprinkle sugar in your coffee or bake a sweet treat, you are enjoying the finished product of a long journey from sun-soaked fields through hard-working mills to this refinery where raw sugar becomes the refined sugar that we all know and love.
Before we wrap up today's visit to Louisiana Sugar Refinery, we want to take a moment to highlight the people and traditions that make Louisiana sugarcane industry so special. First, in our Sugarcane Spotlight, we're excited to feature Kami Hymel, a former Louisiana sugar queen.
The Queen Sugar Program plays an important role in sharing the story of sugarcane, educating the public, advocating for our growers, and honoring the generations of families who have worked in this industry for decades.
Another much-loved tradition in the cane belt happens at Christmas time, the bonfires on the levee. These bonfires are built from wood collected from trees along the levee, and they line the Mississippi River on Christmas Eve. Families and communities come together to build and light them as a way to celebrate the season, honor the tradition, and light the way for Papa Noel.
So in 1969, my grandparents decided to open up their house right across the street to invite anybody in from even around the world. We had people from Brazil, Australia, name it, and they've probably been here to come witness our bonfire tradition here in St. James Parish. We've started out by doing this bonfire with our cousins, and then later it became into something like this. But it actually all started because even though bonfires are a big part of my family, so is sugarcane farming. We have our own sugarcane farm, And my papa was a very big sugarcane farmer, and he passed away back in 2023. And so that following December, we decided to build a tractor bonfire for him to remember him. And that year, I also decided that I was going to compete for Louisiana Queen Sugar, because he, in 2009, was King Sucrose, so the king of the Sugarcane Festival, and I became queen. So it was a great way to represent my family and to continue my papa's legacy, not only with this, but also as Queen Sugar.
3 years ago, unfortunately, my dad passed away, and he loved John Deere tractors. So in honor of him, I came up with the idea of, let's build him a John Deere tractor. Unfortunately, 3 or 4 months later, Mr. Ken Rodriguez passed away, and he was the president of Sunshine and one of the owners of Kemco. And I said, well, we definitely need to build a tractor. So I picked Mr. Ken's tractor, a 4020 high crop that he has at his shed. And I went to take some pictures, and we actually built the 4020. And it was our first one, and we was learning as we went. So it went real good. So we decided to build one in 2024. And so I ended up building a 4430, because that was one of my dad's favorite tractors. And we actually used that 4430 in his funeral procession. So we ended up building the 4430, and we had a little bit of time left. So we actually built a wagon too, that we actually put his casket on.
It is a powerful reminder of how closely agriculture, community, and culture are tied together here in South Louisiana.
From the sugarcane fields and mills, to the refinery here in St. James Parish, to time-honored traditions like levee bonfires and programs like Queen Sugar, sugarcane is more than just a crop, it's a way of life.
Thank you for joining us on Sweeten Your Day, and we'd like to thank Rooney and Kami Hymel for joining us today as well. We'll see you next time as we continue to spotlight the people and traditions that keep Louisiana's sugar strong and sweet. For now, that's the scoop on sugar.